Hi everyone, it's Hira here with Careerly. Good afternoon. The topic of this video is the interview question, why banking? So this is specific to investment banking interviews, and it applies if you are interviewing for your summer internship or for full-time after you graduate. So the question, why banking, you can be 100% certain that it will be a part of your interview. And typically it is right after the TMA, the tell me about yourself, that usually is followed by, what's your interest in banking? Why investment banking? And it is a critical question. So let me just go through some of the things that they are looking for in this answer. The most important thing to remember is that they really want to hear from you some sort of aha moment, okay? So what they're trying to screen out is the fact that that you're just doing your MBA and you're interviewing for banking and consulting just like everybody else, which is probably true. That is the case with 80% of candidates. But you have to convince them that this actually was something that you thought about well before MBA, business school, that in fact it is a major piece of why you're spending so much money and time getting your MBA and getting that skill set. So really what you're trying to say is at some point earlier on in your life, in your career, you decided that banking was the right fit for you. And you really need to sort of convey some aha moment where you really realized this, and there's a true and genuine passion. You really believe that your skill set suits banking more than anything else, and that really that's where you can make a contribution. So bankers are a little bit special in the sense that they want to hear from you not only that you are interested in banking, but that you love banking at the exclusion of everything else, okay? So talking about these examples of aha moments, so let me just go through some possibilities of answers here. So let's just take the case where some of you already have some finance experience, right? So you've either worked in financial services as an industry, or maybe you have held a functional role that is specific to finance or related to finance. So here your job is not that difficult because you can relate the fact that you have strong finance skills, right? So you have good Excel skills, good quant skills, analytical skills, data skills. These are all the things you need to highlight and sort of make the argument that you realized through your work experience that given the skill set you have, this is the right fit for you, number one. Number two, if you worked in the industry or if you worked in a finance-related role, hopefully you have come across bankers. You've come across people who work in investment banking. So this is where you say you saw what they did, you saw the value of what they were trying to do in terms of helping companies raise capital and financing and all that good stuff. And that this is a great way for you to take your existing strong quant Excel skills, add on the MBA as well, and move into a role where you really truly believe in what the bankers do and you believe that you can make a difference. So that one is fairly straightforward. Now for those of you, probably the majority of you who has not worked in banking before, has not worked in a finance-related role, it's a little bit tougher. But the trick is in some ways the same, in the sense that you have to highlight underlying skills that you bring to the table that shows that banking is a good fit, right? So same skills, Excel skills, data skills, analytical skills, some level of finance if possible, but it doesn't have to be finance directly. It just has to be that you're very numerical and that you're quant and that you can find your way around a spreadsheet. So if you can talk a little bit about those things in your previous job, and then as for your aha moment, you might want to talk about the fact that you have friends and family that works in the industry, and you have talked to these people and had some really interesting conversations that led you to do some research into these roles, and that led you to believe that banking is the right thing for you. It could be that there was an instance in your work experience where your company or your organization had to face some sort of financing challenge, right? And that started you thinking about, how do companies raise finance? How do companies grow? Is it a question of mergers and acquisitions? Is it a question of IPOs? Is it a question of how do you raise capital? How do you get financing to expand or grow a business? So the idea here is that you have to communicate to them at the very least, that you understand what bankers do and that you see the value in what they do. Okay, that's it for this. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you soon.